Hey Virgo, welcome to your weekly forecast for April 25th through May 1st. This is for Virgo sun, moon, and rising. We're going to connect and see what messages are coming up here for the Virgo collective. You might stumble upon the video after the week I mentioned. That's just fine. You're going to find it whenever you were meant to find it and whatever it was time for you to hear the messages. Keep in mind that this is a general reading. Not every single message is going to resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. And we're going to see what is coming up here for our lovely Virgo friends. Alrighty, my dears, we're going to move you just a little bit closer here. And the first card that's coming up here for the Virgo collective is the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups can come up when we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. We're not really sure what direction to go in. But the Seven of Cups for me in my readings is really positive because there's a big shift that's happening usually when we encounter Seven of Cups energy. Sometimes in life, we feel very stuck and we feel very trapped because we feel like there's no options. We don't see any solutions because our thinking is so limited. But then, when we start to break out of the limited thinking and the false beliefs, we start to see doors. We start to see possibilities. But then we get stuck again because now we're like, well, before I was stuck because there were no options. And now I'm stuck because there's a lot of different ways that I can go. And I'm terrified that I'm going to pick the wrong thing. I'm terrified that I'm going to make the wrong choice, right? And a lot of this happens because we grow up learning not to trust ourselves or thinking that we like stupid things, right? Like it can start in childhood where you're like, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, Auntie, Uncle, whoever, please buy me this toy. And they might be stressed out with bills and stuff. And they're like, no, I'm not spending money on that garbage. Put it away. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I like garbage. I guess I like stupid stuff. Or somebody says, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like, I want to be a singer. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. But you know what? It's hard to be a singer because a lot of people want to be a singer and not everybody gets to be a singer. And you have to be really, really good. And not many people aren't that good. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, I guess, again, I like something that is not possible, or I like something that is going to be too difficult. And so we start to turn ourselves off. We start to shut ourselves down and we teach ourselves not to want anything. And some of you Virgos have been stuck in that energy for a long time. But now the Seven of Cups is saying you're coming out of it. You're reviving, you're waking up, and you're realizing that there are possibilities. There are opportunities. There are doors that you can go down, but you're still kind of scared that you might choose the wrong thing. So the best little piece of advice that I can give you, Virgo, is write down a list of the possibilities, the different things that you're considering, and one by one visualize yourself living your life having made that choice. Which ones make you feel the happiest? If you can do this, then you can take note of that, right? Oh, these ones made me feel really happy. These ones really resonated with my spirit. Then you start to do the research. What do I have to do to make that happen? How much is it going to cost me, if anything? How might I come up with that? Do I need to take classes? Do I need to get a certificate? Do I need to invest in some kind of equipment? Right? What are the steps I need to take to make this a reality? Once you do that research, now you're going to have a really solid plan in front of you because it's going to be super clear for you which ones you can do right now and which ones are going to be the ones that you work up to over time. And now you have a nice plan. You're not stuck anymore. You have a plan. For some of you, you have a 5-year plan in front of you now. And you're not stuck anymore. And you're not stressed out anymore. The next card that's coming up here for Virgo is the devil. And this is the negative energy. This is the negative ego coming in and telling you you can't do it, right? Anytime that we're about to make a big change in our life, the negative ego freaks out because the negative ego hates change, even when the change is positive and happy. So the closer we are to a massive shift, the closer we are to a massive change, especially if it's a change that's going to help a lot of people, because then we're talking about a lot of change. Then we're talking about a chain reaction of change, and the negative ego freaks out and tries its hardest to discourage you. Okay? Negative ego will come at you hard, and it will make you feel absolutely worthless and hopeless, so that you stop reaching for that change, so that you don't walk through that door. So try to be aware of your thoughts this week, Virgo. And if you're feeling really discouraged and really sad, remind yourself, wow, I must be really close to a really big change because the negative ego is coming down on me really hard right now. And that way you can reason your way through it. You can pray, you can meditate, you can do positive affirmations, and you can be on top of it, and you can overcome that negative ego that's being really negative and trying to discourage you. Now, the devil card can also sometimes come up because we're dealing with Capricorn energy. And that's not to say anything negative about Capricorn, right? The reason why the devil card represents Capricorn is because the devil is representative of ruler over the earthly domain or earth energy, and Capricorn is a very powerful earth energy. It does not mean that Capricorns are the devil. I really need to emphasize this. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn and having to make decisions or choices with a Capricorn. If you have a Capricorn placement, there can be big changes and big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life. Sometimes this card can come up also when your choices are being influenced by your ego, right? Like you're wanting to, get everybody's attention, or you're wanting to, show everybody, you know, how far you've come or how successful you are. And that can sometimes block us in our manifesting. So when you're visualizing your life and you're manifesting your future, try not to visualize it in like this revenge fantasy where everybody's just looking at you and feeling like they're so stupid because they were mean to you, or like they're crying over you, or they feel so stupid. Like, try not to include that in your visualizing or manifesting, because sometimes that can slow down our manifesting, and that can open up a whole nother karmic can of worms. Okay, the next card that's coming up here for Virgo is you coming into your power. That negative ego is going to try to discredit you. That negative ego is going to try to pull you down, but you're coming into your power and you're remembering who you are. You're like, nope, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of the universe. Unconditional love is my birthright. Abundance is my birthright. Abundance is the nature of nature. I've got this. I've got this. I'm going to succeed, right? The devil is a liar. Not today, Satan. So you're being in this powerful energy. You're rooting yourself. You're grounding yourself. King of Pentacles can also come up for me in my readings when there's a really big opportunity coming your way. A significant life-shifting opportunity. A lot of the times it does have to do with career or business, but it could be an opportunity to move, to put an offer on something. It could be starting a business. It could be a relationship. It doesn't have to be work or money related. But the thing that happens when the King of Pentacles is here is one of the things I've seen over the years reading for people. It seems like a really great offer and a really great opportunity. And we want it. We want it really bad. But that imposter syndrome kicks in and starts to tell us that, oh, they must have made a mistake when they offered this to me. I must have left a really good impression of myself, way better than I actually am. So they must have this better impression of me than I am. And that's why they're offering this to me. But once they get to know the real me, once they're around me enough, they're going to regret that they offered this to me. And they're going to like fire me, or they're going to say that I'm not good enough, or they're not going to want me anymore, or whatever it is. So then we are tempted to push it away because we're like, oh gosh, this sounds great, but I'm not ready for it. This sounds wonderful, but I'm not good enough for it. Well, the King of Pentacles comes up to say, yes, you are, my dear. You are good enough for it. You are ready for it. If you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. Okay, that's what the King of Pentacles comes up to say for me in readings a lot of the time. King of Pentacles traditionally can also be finding ways to create security and abundance in your life with certain assets and resources that are already available to you. You may have extra room on your property that you're going to fix up and rent out. You know, maybe you're doing an Airbnb situation. Maybe you're renting out a room. Maybe you have land and you're able to rent out that land for something, or build a little small studio on it or something. Maybe you have certain skills or talents that you can start hiring out. Maybe you can start, making something and selling it with things that you already have. Some of you might be going through and liquidating things. You might realize, hey, I've got some nice stuff here that I'm not using. It's just collecting dust. And some of you may be selling things and then taking that money and investing it into passive income or future investments or business ideas. But there's a sense here of creating abundance with what is already available to you now. The next card that's coming up for Virgo is the moon, and this could be Pisces energy or Cancer energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer. Now, it could be their moon, their rising, their Venus. It doesn't have to be their sun sign. Some of you are watching this as a Virgo, but you're not a Virgo sun. You have a Virgo placement. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're a Scorpio like me with a Virgo placement, or some other sign with a Virgo placement. So again, Capricorn can be sun, moon, rising, Venus. It doesn't have to be sun sign. Cancer and Pisces can be sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Doesn't have to be sun sign. Some of you could be dealing with these elements. If you have a Cancer or Pisces placement, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life. Now, the moon card is about overcoming your fears. Overcoming your fears, overcoming your worries, learning to listen to your intuition, allowing yourself to tap into your emotions and your feelings. Sometimes it can even come up because we're having a significant release. Things that have been buried are coming to the surface to be released. But as I'm looking at this and I see this little road, this little path and little windy energy, it's making me think of a snake, and snakes make me think of healing. And it's like kind of like the moon is like pulling at this. So I do feel like Virgo, a lot of you are going to be really, really, really sensitive to the coming moon cycles. And a lot of you are going to have very powerful releases in the coming moon cycles. And a lot of you are going to have a lot of healing in the coming moon cycles. Some of you may be manifesting some really massive changes here in your life because we've got these two major arcana cards here. And this can be a little roller coastery here because of the way we've got this pattern of non-major arcana, major arcana, non-major arcana, major arcana. It could be a little roller coastery here emotionally, mentally, but this is a time of coming into your power, releasing, strengthening your intuition, being guided by your intuition. Some of you have such big changes that are coming in, it feels like very unfamiliar territory for you. But I just heard Spirit say it's like riding a bike, you never forget. So maybe some of you have been out of work for a long time, and now like you're working and it feels very foreign to you, or you've been single a really long time and now you're in a relationship and you're like, oh my gosh, like I've been alone forever, like this is so like takes getting used to. But Spirit is saying it's like riding a bike, and just go with your intuition. Allow nature to take its course. Allow yourself to do what comes naturally, right? It's something that you're going to feel your way through, not so much as reason or logic your way through. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. And love readings for April are linked in the description. Love readings for May are done, finally. I haven't linked them in the description yet because this is still an April reading, but they are on the channel under the video tab if you want to get a sneak peek and start looking at Love for April. It is available. Don't forget to check out the daily messages as well, the card of the day. Private readings, calendly.com/amethystangelite, link in description to schedule. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Take care and be well, Virgo.